Hey, what's up, friends? Ray with Docket Timberworks. So we're going to talk today about do-it-yourself lump charcoal with a retort kiln. This is my retort kiln. It's a 50-gallon drum. We're going to go kind of in reverse order right now. I'm going to show you the load of charcoal I made earlier this week. I think it was Thursday or Friday. But this is the chimney. It's just regular ducting. It's not stovepipe. It's nothing expensive. It's like $5-6 at Home Depot, and it's just leftovers. These bricks add a little bit of weight to the top, but they're more here to stabilize the chimney. Chimney comes off. Okay, so this is a 50-gallon drum. I cut this lid open. I just did cuts with a zip wheel or a cutoff disc, and then I pulled them open with the pliers. This lets the exhaust out, and it also locates and helps stabilize the chimney. So this lid clamp isn't 100% necessary, but it helps. It makes everything kind of work. So these bricks were used to keep the lid on the inner chamber. Okay, so the way this works is there's an inner chamber filled with wood that you want to become charcoal. You then burn a fire in the outer chamber, and that cooks the wood. But you have to have a tight seal on the top because you can't let any flame in or your charcoal will be toast, literally. So, all right. So this was, I think, a mix of oak and cherry. But say it's light, crisp, brittle, perfect lump charcoal. This barrel was full. It settles down. So all I do on the 50-gallon drum is vent holes and then drain holes. Simple for that. Okay, so there was a previous load of all hickory. I don't really care about separating them. It's all good quality hardwood. Okay, now if you can see that, there's 3 holes in the bottom. That lets the gases escape down into the outer chamber. So when the charcoal is cooking, the wood expels gases. Those gases are flammable. It goes into the outer chamber, and that's what makes it a retort kiln. And that actually improves the efficiency, and it cleans better and hotter. So just a little bit of ash, it's good for the soil. So I'm going to take this guy, we're going to load him up. So I like to load up the inner chamber first. This looks like it's mostly cherry. Mayflies are out and about. This looks like we're mostly cherry again. Logs to put, so use a lot of your extra stuff. I got my son filming me. He's laughing. So this looks like this is going to be all cherry charcoal, which you never hear that. You don't need the bark. You don't need to really separate it. I don't care if it's in there. You can put bigger pieces in. I've had it fail though, and you have to like cook it twice sometimes. Whatever you do, you have to just make sure that the top lid fits good and tight, because if flame gets inside, you're done. You're going to lose all your hard work and wood that you just wasted. So we like to get it full, but not too full. That should be good enough. So here's the lid. You can see it doesn't really fit anymore. I've made a dozen or so loads of charcoal. The tabs don't work anymore. They just break off. So what we mainly rely on is the bricks. To seal things up and keep things tight. Now you can put whatever you want in this outer fire. I put a little bit of pine, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is all what Raider calls bits and bobs. We had a huge pile of leftover scraps from splitting wood and bowl turning and all that fun stuff. You can get some interesting wood in here. There's some red oak, some pallet wood, some pine, mulberry. There's a piece of white oak, all kinds of good stuff. It don't matter what you put in here. I have had a couple failed fires, and I think it was from using wet wood on that outside, or using exceedingly wet wood on the inside. That's not good either. This is kind of different from what most people are used to, because this is going to be like a top-down fire. You start it up top, and then it kind of works its way down towards the bottom. But you want a good bed of coals on top. And this is going to burn for a while. It's going to burn 7-8 hours. I never open it till the next day, because if your fire is not completely out and you open the lid and a little spark or ember gets in there and lights your charcoal on fire, well, that was a big waste of time, effort, and wood for nothing. Because I mean, it'll go up like that. And we don't want this piled up too high, because we want it to be able to burn down, and we want to be able to get the lid on once things get going. That looks about right for that. This was a thought. These are all piths from a bowl that I cut out. I was originally going to use them for a pizza oven, but that didn't pan out too well. It works better with pellets. So this is great stuff to go on top, and it lights up and goes really good, really fast. And it's all premium stuff, you know. All my bowls are hardwood. So it's all cherry, maple, walnut, oak, all kinds of good stuff. So you could use accelerants right here if you wanted to. I usually don't. I kind of keep things natural, but it doesn't matter, because nothing from this outer chamber should be getting into the inner chamber. Yeah, I like to do things the easy way. I can smell that cherry wood right off the bat. It's good smelling fire, huh? So the best smelling fire you can get is a combination of cherry and walnut together, man. That just smells great. Makes a lot of the woodworkers cry, you know, but it is what it is, man. There's tons of trees out there. They all come down sooner or later. Stuff's for free all over the place. Looks like the boys getting some good action shots. Who doesn't love a good fire? So this is good and going. We'll be back when we're ready to lid this thing up and put the lid on. It can be a struggle sometimes. So I'll show you real time how it happens and what we do and probably the struggles that ensue. So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes after this burns down. But, all right, so I'm huffing and puffing. I was moving these logs around and knocked that fire down. So it's down below the level. This is where a good pair of welding gloves comes in real handy, because this gets hot. Trying to move this lid around and getting everything situated, everything gets really hot, really fast. This is the part I'm not so great at. Good enough. So we're gonna have some leakage, but it's getting too hot to handle and mess with. And I gotta get the chimney on, so. Okay, so now it's a little bit smoky for right now, but once everything starts burning right and the chimney starts drawing, it's gonna go up. It's a little bit of a breezy day too. That kind of hurts things. I wasn't able to get this set, but you can see we've already got coals down at the bottom that have dropped down there. And you'll see this will eventually clear out and become a smooth, efficient running fire. It'll be almost clear. And then you'll also be able to see the, it's almost a green color, the green vapors of the gas being expelled. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch. Sometimes when it's roaring really good, it sounds like a jet engine in there. All the gas is burning off and being recombusted. So, all right, I'll show you it a little bit more later here when it gets dialed in, cooking really good. All right, we're back. So we're burning clean and efficient now. Look at that. You know, there's a little bit of the stuff going off, a lot of it, but it's more escaping gases than anything else, because when you look at the chimney, hardly anything's coming up out of it. You know, so this is a lot of those gases from the inner chamber. I'll have to look it up and see what they're called. I can't remember. But there's a retort kiln making homemade do-it-yourself charcoal. This was mostly cherry wood, all premium stuff. It's burning hot. I've tested it with my heat gun before and it pegs at 1,000, so you know, even the exhaust is that hot coming out of the chimney. So there it is. See, so there's a good clear distinction between like the vapors coming out of the bottom and then the more blue regular smoke coming out the top. You can see it's more of a greener, if that's possible, color versus the bluer smoke. So those are the exhaust vapors coming out, the gases coming out from the inner chamber of the wood being cooked. versus the exhaust, the smoke from the fire burning. Cool, huh? Quite the difference. Here's my tub. And this stuff lights really fast. You put this stuff in a chimney and it's good and ready to cook within 5 minutes flat. You know, whereas like regular store-bought lump charcoal takes about a half hour. All right, folks, thanks for checking this out, and I hope this helped. Some guys earlier on, when I first started my channel, asked about this retort kiln. So here's a better version of it, I hope. The first one was really bad. It was when I first started YouTube and was just throwing stuff around. But we still throw in some barbecue and some chainsaw and some other fun stuff like that. Anything to do with salvaged wood. That's what this channel is about, hauling off wood and repurposing it. Whether it's beautiful bowls, wood-turned art, or backyard barbecue. All right, we'll catch you on the next one, friends.